Triple M breakfast, Dave and Katie. It's 92.9 Triple M on this Wednesday morning.
Now, you've been away for a couple of days, and obviously it was tragic news over the weekend. Saturday morning, we found out the passing of Adam Selwood, which was just heartbreaking. And when something like this happens, it sparks a lot of conversation surrounding mental health. So you've been away for a couple of days and doing what you're doing, but spending time with the family. But I just want to know sort of your thoughts surrounding mental health, if you're happy to share.
Yeah, Lammy, it's been it's times like this I wish I had an office job and could sit behind an email. It's my job to be on air and be up and about. And, my heart just is so broken for Fee and Lenny and, of course, Billy. The 3 or 4 months that family's been through is unimaginable. I have written a few things down just because it is difficult to think about this stuff. Now, I spoke to a doctor on Monday, not about my own circumstances, but she said that 20% of her clients on Monday were young, middle-aged men going in to see her for a mental health plan. So the conversations are certainly happening, and people are reaching out, and it is mental health. It can affect anyone, but let's nail it. It's men. It is particularly men. That's the danger period. And I shared a message with you, Lammy, a couple of weeks ago from a guy who reached out to me on social media. And it's not the first time. I've received these messages many times, and reading them every time, it breaks my heart. And I'll just read out what I received only a week or two ago. It's, "Hey, Xavier, just wanted to let you know that a few times now you've kept a smile on my face when I didn't think possible. And at times when my thoughts were very dark and depressed while driving. Thanks for literally keeping me on the road." Literally keeping me on the road. And waking up on Saturday to some missed calls and learning about the mental health tragedy of a friend of mine, Adam Cellwood. And over my time in the media, the Cellwood boys have been in here many times. I've done this media stuff for about a decade now, and I think I've made it really clear that, the love and admiration I have for that family. I idolise them and have, since I was the age of 12. Joel was my first ever captain as a 14-year-old. He was a friend, a close friend, someone I admire so deeply. And moving to Perth, I knew no one other than Joel's brother, who was on the West Coast list, Scooter, who was living with Adam at the time. And, I love Western Australia, and I love it because of the Selwood, Scooter and Adam. They really helped me when I first arrived. And Scooter, having a beer with him on Sunday night and seeing him and how empty, that poor man is. And, Bryce and Marie, family friends, we went to Ireland as kids. They're beautiful people. You think that those, Selwood boys, when they play footy, they put a cape on, those boys. They're tough, they're brave. Well, Bryce and Marie are that as parents every day and night. Just wonderful people. And calling Joel over the weekend, and just hearing his voice break, that bulletproof Joel Selwood is just, he's not. And, mental health doesn't discriminate. I'm not even sure who I'm addressing here. It's probably everyone, but, targeting men and young men, it's a time now where, are you okay day? I think it's deeper than that. It's so easy to deflect a question, are you okay? Time to grab a scalpel and really dissect the person, you're asking, because, these jerk responses, you'd rather be a persistent pain in the ass than, a shallow ass who's just moved on and you've ticked the box. So, if you have got someone you're concerned about and it's hard, like, you got to grab that life jacket and, jump in the water with them, because they're drowning inside. And I guarantee there's someone in your friendship group that is in a way of struggle. Even if you're just sitting in the car thinking, the men groups, and as I said, this is targeting men, but there's also, ladies in this position that, can think, is it the mate who's, always too busy to catch up, or is it the brother who's always willing to help everyone else, or is it, the young dad who you never see because he says he's too busy at home. The fun guy who's always up for a beer. There's so many different characteristics in men, the popular lad you admire, that, you just assume that it's not them. But, in a friendship group, I guarantee there is someone there that does need that help and support. And it is someone that your friendship group's no different to Adam's friendship group of Matty Rosa and Warren Coford and, his closest friends, Andrew Embley. Like, it is every friendship group out there. And, personally, I'll put my hand up. I've struggled at times with my own mental health, but not obviously to the level that, people find themselves in. And it's young dads, it's fathers, it's brothers and uncles. And, it could be you in the car. And, that message I received that I read out at the start about the guy who was literally struggling to keep his car on the road. I just wrote back, here's my phone number, whatever you need. But everyone knows that one person.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to just do the, how are you going? And if you ask me that and I'm at the lowest point, I'll say, you're going well, going all right. And then you think, shit, I've done the right thing. But as I said, it's time to get the scalpel and really dive in to see, take the deep dive with your friend. Because I've just sat there yesterday and saw the Cellwoods, and the devastation between those brothers, who I call my closest friends, and Bryce and Marie. I haven't got much more than, Fee and Lenny and Billy. It's just a tragic thing that no one should have to live through. And I haven't got much more to add than just try and find the mate that you think's really struggling and try and help them and reassure them that there's ways, and you won't have the answers, but you can certainly ask the right questions. And I don't know, that's about all I've got.
Thank you for sharing that as well, because as you said, it doesn't discriminate. We're all human. We've all got emotions, and not every day is a good day. So as you said, check in with your mates, check in with yourself as well. Look after yourselves. But yeah, our heart breaks for not only the Selwood family, but for everybody who knows that person and going through it.
And they're just the public names, Troy and Adam.
That's it.
They're the public. It's 3,000 people a year that are predominantly young men. It's people that you don't ever know. But I can tell you that growing up in the country, it's certainly not the first person that I've heard that this has happened to. I know numerous people. So it doesn't discriminate, and don't think that the person's going okay just because you see it externally. Dig a little bit deeper and find out internally how they are going. And as I said, that Selwood family, Fee and the kids, I'm just completely devastated for everyone who loved Adam.
If you need to talk to someone, get in contact with Lifeline 13 11 14, and their website is lifeline.org.au. It's Triple M Breakfast.